Hello, everyone. Welcome back from spring break. We are going to discuss this in this chapter 13. We're going to discuss moral development. And I hope you all had some time to rest during spring break. And I'm proud of you all for just getting through the semester thus far. You're almost done, so keep up the good work. When we talk about moral development, the first thing that we have to discuss is, of course, what is moral development? And in your book, they had 5 questions that people asked when they were trying to understand how children and adolescents develop morally. And so the first question is, when we are thinking about children and adolescents, what do children and adolescents think about ethical conduct? What do they think about the rules? How do they say which rules are correct and which rules need to be changed? So their children's reasoning and thinking about rules and ethical conduct. The next question is, okay, we understand how children think and reason, but now we're looking at how do children and adolescents actually behave in moral circumstances? How do children and adolescents behave when they think that no one is watching them, or when a situation arises and their moral compass needs to click in? How do children and adolescents actually behave? And we talked about reasoning, how they think. We talked about how children behave. And the next is, how do children feel about moral issues? Do they have strong feelings? Do they have feelings of empathy, feelings of guilt if they do something wrong? Are they able to take the perspective of others and feel empathy when things go wrong in other people's lives? How do children feel? And not only how do children feel, but the thinking, the behavior, the feeling, all of that adds to the moral personality. So the moral personality, think about your personality is what you think, how you behave, how you feel, but it is the same concept, but it just applies to morality. And then the last domain is, or the last question is, how does the moral domain differ from social, conventional, and personal domains? So we think about moral domain, so the part of our lives that deals with morality and how that's different than your set personality or just your everyday behavior. And so that leads us to understanding, now giving you a definition of moral development. So moral development involves changes in your thoughts, in your feelings, and your behaviors regarding standards of right and wrong. So pretty much those first 3 questions that were asked when thinking about the development of moral development, those are what encompass the definition of moral development. And moral development is split into 2 dimensions. The first dimension is the intrapersonal dimension. Now pay attention to intrapersonal. So that means what's going on the inside. And so that is thinking, when you're thinking about what is morally right, how you feel about moral issues, how you come to reason with what is morally acceptable or what is not. That would be the intrapersonal dimension. But the other dimension is the interpersonal. The inter means having to do with outside of yourself, so think socially. So that includes cooperation, conflict, if you choose to abide by the rules. If you choose not to abide by the rules, that would be that will fall into the interpersonal dimension. Okay, so that is all that I have for you. I am going to go into the development of moral thought in the next section of slides. I'll see you all soon.